Hi, this is Josh Barlow. It is December 10th. This is for English 1101 at GNTC. I will be covering Do Vaccinations Cause Autism? With me, my audience, my wonderful family. Okay. All right. So hopefully you will learn something today if you haven't. So, although baseless, the idea that vaccinations cause autism in children has steadily grown over the last 2 decades. A major reason for this is social media. Because social media has exploded, and while worldwide communication has become an essential part of everyday life for everyone, it is a double-edged sword. We have knowledge and ignorance blending and spreading like never before. Through social media, celebrities reach a massive population who tend to take their words as fact because they are celebrities. Noted celebrities that support the idea that vaccines cause autism in children are Jim Carrey, Charlie Sheen, and Jenny McCarthy. Each of these have reached out through public means and suggested that vaccines cause autism, with Jenny McCarthy being a major proponent as her child was actually diagnosed with autism, and she believes it came from vaccinations. However, these ideas originally stemmed from a report in 1998 in a reputable medical journal called The Lancet. Andrew Wakefield and 12 of his colleagues published a case series that suggested the MMR, which is the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, predisposes children to behavioral regression and developmental disabilities. 10 of Wakefield's colleagues quickly withdrew their support, however, within months of the study being published. It then became known that Wakefield failed to disclose that he had financial interests vested in the outcome of the study, as he was heavily involved with lawyers who were in active lawsuits against vaccine companies at the time. By 2010, nearly 2 decades later, The Lancet published a smart article retracting the study altogether due to falsification of evidence and ethical violation. Wakefield was eventually found guilty of fraud. The anti-vaccination movement was based on a lie. While Wakefield's study focused on the MMR vaccine, many of the anti-vaccine proponents have chosen to refuse all vaccines. Some point to the presence of thimerosal, a preservative, as the trigger. However, that hasn't been present in the routine children vaccinations for decades now. With fewer parents choosing to vaccinate their children, everyone comes into risk of disease spreading. While vaccination is the best line of defense against many dangerous contagions, it is not 100% effective. So if you have someone contracting the disease, it can spread to other people who have the vaccine. Then it can spread to more people and more people from there. So it's extremely important that everyone is vaccinated because that contributes to something called herd immunity, where the stronger, healthier people who were vaccinated protect smaller, weaker individuals like babies whose immune systems aren't fully developed yet. With children at risk to catching highly contagious diseases like measles, polio, and smallpox, everyone around them comes under similar risk. While there hasn't been a case of polio originating in the U.S. since 1993, since the 1970s, the case in 1993 was from an outside, a foreigner coming into the States who had polio, and then a little girl in the U.S. contracted it from him. So there hasn't been a case that originated here in the United States since the 70s. So with that, measles has also fluctuated enormously, with 667 cases documented in 2014, up from 63 cases in 2010. The seriousness of these conditions cannot be overstated. Many children in the 50s spent their lives unable to walk, with some needing mechanical help just to breathe from polio. And smallpox is an even more terrifying disease that killed millions of people throughout history. It's highly contagious and extremely deadly. While there is a chance that some suffer an allergic reaction to some of the ingredients, years of scientific research has shown that they do not cause autism. Often the two are linked because of the timing. Autism is typically diagnosed in children around the same time that they are routinely vaccinated. And that's one of the reasons that people link the two. It's important to understand autism spectrum disorder and the signs that might be present at an early age. At 6 months, you want to look for things like no social smiles, joyful expressions, or limited eye contact. At 9 months, no vocal sounds or nonverbal communication. At 12 months, no babbling, communicational gestures, or response to calling their name. At 16 months, no words, and at 24 months, no two-word phrases. So these are all signs that you want to look for in your child that might suggest that they have autism. And it's important to get that diagnosed if you do see any of these issues, because then you can take them to a therapist who can provide help for them and help them continually functionally grow. So children with autism may experience all or a few of typical conditions and can range from mild to severe. Communication is often difficult. Avoidance of eye contact and a desire to be left alone are all common symptoms of autism spectrum disorder. And stimulation can be extreme, with intense or diluted reactions to light, touch, and sound. While no parent wants to see any disorder affect their child, autism does not preclude a perfectly healthy, happy, and functional life. Diseases like polio, measles, and smallpox are dangerous, life-threatening conditions that affect not only the infected, but everyone else around them as well. So get your children vaccinated, protect them, and everyone you know. Thank you.